Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be about decisions. Specifically, why making a decision is never the solution and the problem. Something I hear a lot is when people say things about, for example, chores or schoolwork, just general things that everyone has to do, or if you're older, it might be mowing the lawn or picking up something for someone. But the root of it is that making a decision is not the thing that you have to do to be successful. People say that as if it's the be-all and end-all. Like it's the most obvious thing that you just have to make the decision to go and do it. And this is true to an extent. But by making that decision, all you're doing is eroding one thing. You're not releasing the dam to release your full potential. And so you never really go anywhere. You might start. You might do a few things. But overall, making one decision is not going to help you. You need to have a change in mind state. And the way to do this is different for every person. So instead of telling you some sort of instruction on exactly what you need to do, as if I can just make your life better despite not knowing you whatsoever, I'm going to suggest instead things that you need to figure out. And in this case, we find it most prominent that you need to figure out the root of why you're not making that decision. This is a hard question to answer because I'm only in the process of figuring this out in multiple areas. But people think that there's always going to be a guide, that humans are just robots. But that is what makes us so special and simultaneously so hard to figure out, so hard to calibrate ourselves, in the sense that you might easily be able to do for a machine. As humans, we are always starstruck by the sheer possibility of everything. But this only matters if we can remain sure in our possibility. If you decide you're going to do something, you have to stick with it. But this is a thing that so many people struggle with. The reason businesses don't get started. The reason things don't happen when they should at certain companies. Because people try to make the decision, and they force themselves through over and over again. And in a sense, this is how the world is run. But you must think deeper. You must think at a level you haven't before. Because that is the only way. In this endeavor, you must find out things about yourself. Things that you might be uncomfortable with. Things that you might have wished you could have gone on not knowing. Because to some extent, everybody believes that they're a good person. And indeed, even when you're not a good person, telling yourself that, unless it's in a pure factual sense, is going to get you nowhere. You need to figure out why. There's the what, there's the where, there's the when. And people think that those three questions can answer everything. Or that why can be reduced down to a description of those three previous factors. But it's not the case. We are more complicated than that. Nothing is as illogical as the human mind. And perhaps this is the trap people fall into. They believe that they can logic their way out. If they believe hard enough, they will know what they need to change. But it's not the case. There are things that you must do to fix what is broken. And they do not start with a video. They do not start with a research paper. They do not start with a book. None of this will tell you anything if you do not think. And sure, if you have the desire, One of these things might spark change within you, at the deep level that it needs to be, to take root and be strong. But indeed, it is rare that this happens. And it is rarer still that people recognize this and seek internally. So often, we blame what is external for our issues. And this works for a time. This works for a while. But soon enough, it'll come to an end. And soon enough, you will need to find a way to fix what is broken, that is not written anywhere. That is not written anywhere for you. I can't tell you what to think, but I can give you some tips on how I've gotten to where I am and how I keep pushing onwards. Start a journal. It might be uncomfortable to write at first. It might be difficult to let your true thoughts out. But if you struggle to write, because you fear what you will write, let me say this. What you write is the key to figuring it out, because you must understand yourself better to solve whatever issues you have. You must write. You must draw. So many things that could lead to the answer. And I don't know which one it will be for you. I don't know how you can walk across your land and figure it out in an instant. But truly, I wish you the best. Because in this endeavor, we are easily broken. We are easily discouraged. Yet we don't try hard enough. When you write and something feels off, people know to stop. Yet you cannot give up on yourself. In your creative endeavors, this is fine. Perhaps it'll come with time that you finally start writing the book that you've been wishing to write since you were a child, or the painting that you've been meaning to make. But those two things are separate. Though the paths are similar, though writing can lead you to the answer, it is not the same. And so what you must do is to figure out your key. I can't show you the path. I can show you the entrance to the forest, but only you can find the path. Only you can figure out where to go. And I think this applies to everyone. I see so many people who seem to be so successful. But note that everyone in existence has something wrong. Everyone. Even billionaires. Some would argue, especially billionaires. But the point is, success, or being a good person, does not guarantee that there is nothing that you need to fix. For I believe that a way to find purpose in life is to continuously search for that purpose. There is an old saying which goes, "It is about the journey, not the destination." Well, this applies to life as well. There is no end game. Even when you believe you are a good person, even when you believe you have things in order, there is more that you can do. There will always be more that you can do. So press onwards. Start writing. And perhaps you'll find a way to make the great willow tree of your faith and of your will take root for once and for all, for it will benefit you. I believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself. That is the only way. Thank you for watching.